everyone! This week finds us back in the van, but not because of epoxy dust. Brisa is having part of her deck painted, and we want to keep blondie hair and footprints off the deck. Well, we're hanging out in the van. Today is Wednesday, and it is the special day at Pollo Feliz. 1.5 chickens for the price of 1, and it comes with pickled onions, salsa, tortillas, and it's the best chicken ever. All the nearby eateries are getting an economic boost from our stay in the yard. Loncheria, which to me sounds like it should be a lunch place, actually translates to snack bar and does not open until 5 p.m. It is known for its papas locas, carne asada, and we are stuck on the tacos California, a poblano chile, carne asada, handmade flour tortillas, and accompanying salsas. Very tasty, or muy sabroso. Regarding progress on La Brisa, Pepe and his crew have been very painstaking in prepping the deck for paint. For a couple of days after our arrival last week, the high spots in the newly faired deck surface were roughly leveled using grinders and disc sanders. On subsequent days, finer and finer sandpaper was used, ending with hand sanding using fairing boards and sanding blocks. One of the difficulties of working with West System 410 fairing compound is the pinholes that appear in the fairing, no matter how careful you are. Pepe used red glaze putty to fill the pinholes on this morning, and in the evening, virtually all trace of the glaze had been sanded off, leaving a smooth, pinhole-free surface. It was Pepe's opinion that to paint the side of the cabin to cover the fairing just above the angle where it meets the deck would look strange, and his recommendation was to paint the entire side of the cabin up to the eyebrow for a more aesthetic look. We agreed with him, and even though this area had just been painted in January, La Brisa was papered and taped in preparation for spraying. The deck was divided into sections, areas that will be non-skid, bisected with waterways to assist with drainage and to add visual interest. The edges along the bulwarks and the cabin sides, along with the waterways, were sanded smooth prior to painting. The area which will encompass the non-skid was left a little rougher. No reason to make that area smooth. Lee had to remind the man doing the sanding not to forget the area under the bowsprit, an inconvenient and easily overlooked area. It is important to observe the work in progress and communicate if one desires a certain appearance. Lee is much better at this than I am. The paint was sprayed on over the course of 2 days. Here, Pepe found a problem, and the paint will be resanded and resprayed. The paint finish is incredibly glossy and smooth. Pepe's last task was to tape and primer the non-skid areas. We are very pleased with Pepe's painting and fiberglass work. He and his crew did a much better job at fairing and finishing the deck than Lee or I could have. Now it will be our turn to apply the kiwi grip. The vague rotten egg odor in our tank water was more extreme upon our return last week. We did some research, and apparently we have a flourishing colony of hydrogen sulfide bacteria. It is considered a nuisance bacteria and we have not gotten sick from it. However, it is unpleasant smelling, and extremely high levels can cause diarrhea. The odor can be dispelled with exposure to air, and when we opened the tank, there was no unpleasant odor. But when the water is under anaerobic conditions, such as in the water piping, the bacteria are in full production. We have never had this happen before. Our water filtration system with UV light module has always served us well. Our daughter, who is in the medical field, pointed out that even if our filtration system is 99.9% effective, it takes only one bacterium to establish a colony. We have applied a chlorine shock treatment to our tank water system and are hoping that takes care of the problem. If you have ever had this happen to you before, please leave a comment and let us know how you handled it. As usual, we will let you know how things go. So, until next time.